Yo, I was about the real truth in the world. I started and shit, and all of a sudden my feed got shut down. My 15-minute live feed turned into 6 minutes. Weird, huh? And they say there's no censorship. Anyway, like I was saying, random people don't go missing from their house and not be found unless they don't want them to be found. Because if some bank robber, some burglar, some shooter can shoot up a place and be found the next day, then some old lady that's been stolen from her house could be found within a couple of days. So, they're all in on it. I've said it from time and time. I'll say it time again. They're all in on it. There's no, they're not in on it. They're in on it. So, there's no two sides. It's one side. It's conquer and divide. It's full-on fake reality and total division. You'll buy it because they sell it. This guy says that, and you buy it, and those guys say this, and they bought it. And now we're fighting each other. The reality of it is the truth. And every time I get one step closer to talking about the truth, I get one step closer to silenced. All my videos have been stepped on. That's why you haven't seen me in a couple weeks. There's no point. Half the time, nobody can get to my feed. Are you guys seeing it? Probably not. Chime in if you're out there. Because it's like shadow banned history here. So, if you're out there, thanks for coming. No? I know it's pretty late. It's like a late night show. We were getting into it. But like I said, we got our feed cut. And then it said we were live for 15 minutes, but then when it saved nothing. And it didn't save any of the people that were in the conversation. So I don't even think these lives are working. Anyone? Oh, yeah, is anyone? No? Yeah, there are people? Okay, awesome. Yeah, the last feed got cut down. You start telling the truth too much on the internet, man, they shut your feed off. Hello, how you guys doing? Hello. Yeah. There's no sides. They're all in on it, man. There's no sides. There's no side to pick. There's no side to be. There's no side to be part of. I'm doing great. How you guys doing? Oh yeah, thanks. That's an old sign. Had that a long time. Yeah, my day was great. Thank you. Hope your day's going good. I haven't been on here in a couple weeks because there's so much craziness that I thought maybe I'd let it settle for a minute before I came back on. And there'd be something positive going on, but still total chaos all around. You know, the rich elites are the danger to our lives. No matter what government you live under, no matter what country you live under, the rich elites rule those people. We do not rule them. I mean, think about this. Some old lady, the mom of somebody important, just disappears in their front yard and they can't find her. But some random dude steals, crashes a plane into a building and they find out who it is in hours. Some person climbs on a building with a rifle and starts shooting and they know who did that. But they don't know who snatched away some important person. They don't know where these important people go and they just disappear. How come I can't disappear and not get away with it? But these rich people and these important people can just disappear and never be found. Because they're in on it. They are all in on it. There's no such thing as a conspiracy theory. That was told by someone who was trying to negate the information that was true. Someone was telling the truth, and they called it a conspiracy theory to throw people off of the truth. There's no two sides. We're all together. We're just people. Like I said, the last feed got shut down by them. They didn't like it. I started telling the truth. They got all upset. They shut it down. When it posted 6 minutes. It was almost 18 minutes long. So there's no truth. The truth is what they allow you to hear. The truth is what when you do your real investigation and the information you come up with, that is the truth. The truth is not what they tell you. It's not what they share with you. It's not what the common populace says. 6 out of 10 people aren't even getting the real truth from the real information. 6 out of 10 people are getting their information from other people's information. They're getting opinions second and third hand. They're not even getting their own opinion on it. So before you go believing any of these people or any of these sides, you got to realize there is no sides, man. They are all in on it together. The only side is the people, the common people that are getting stepped on like bugs. You know, the leaders above you, they don't care about you. And even the ones that pretend they do, they don't. Hello, thank you. Doing great. Having a great day. Hope you're all doing well. Appreciate everyone for coming in, trying to get a late night show in without getting the feed squashed by the feds, by the oligarchs, the overseers, the truth deniers. You know, they don't like us. They don't like the people. They don't like the commonality. They don't like freedom. They don't like when you say what you believe. You know what they want you to do is they want you to consume their products, and they want you to work as a slave in their factories, and they want you to pay their taxes so that they can buy cool shit. And when you complain, they come up with fake reasons to make you mad at each other. Oh, not that many. Only a few hundred. There's not a lot of real truth-seeking individuals. So, you know, most of the people that follow me are real people that aren't afraid when I say the word God out loud. You know, faith doesn't hurt, it helps. You know, so a lot of people get all sad about that, but that's part of the reason our world's in total chaos. I was saying it earlier, right in the middle of when the feed got shut down. You know, what we're living in is sin and violence and hate and misinformation all around the world. It's not one group of people. It's not anything. If anything, it's this box in front of us. Like I said, I didn't come on here for 2 weeks. I'm not searching fame. I'm not searching to be known. The only thing I do is come and tell the truth when there's something to talk about. And I look around the world and it's in total chaos. If we keep living in violence and sin and hate, you know, there's only one judge of all this. Whether you believe it or not, we'll all be standing at that door. And when we're standing at that door, you better hope you have your ducks in a row. Better hope you already have a relationship with God, because when God comes to judge the place, you can't get fixed. Then is judgment. There is no salvation then. There's salvation before then. That's why it's called judgment. What do I think about Ted Kaczynski? Was that like the bomber dude? Well, again, I'd never accept any form of violence or any form of destruction as protest, you know. Hello, Houston. You know, so I don't agree with anything like that. The dude had valid points to say about government issues, and some of those same issues that some of those people have been saying for the last 20, 30 years have been the same issues that have been going on in history for the last 100, 200 years. You know, it's real stuff. You think about it. If 100 people say something important and 10 of them disappear and the other 90 shut up, chances are what they were talking about is real and true. They're all in on it, Ken. They're all in on it. All of them, everybody at the top, from the rich people through all the way through the government. The only people that aren't in on it are the citizens. And you know what? In real days, nowadays, a lot of the citizens are in on it. A lot of these citizens get their information from this little box that they're looking at. And if someone in this box says something's wrong, then they go out and treat it like something's wrong. Most people don't have their own opinion. Like I said earlier, they don't They don't get their own information and then make an opinion. They get 2 or 3 other people's opinion, and if those people had like-minded opinions, then they just join in with them. It's the society we have. It's the internet society, and it's not just in America. It's the world. The world is an internet society. So now we make our decisions based on our internet connection, based on the value, based on the news that comes through your feed. Right or wrong, real or fake, you're using information that's man-made, and then you wonder why you don't know anything. Childhood game console. Oh man, I'm so old. It was like ColecoVision, I think is what they called it. Like, it was like the upgrade from Atari. My favorite holiday would either be Easter or Christmas. I mean, Easter is the the rebirth of Christ, and Christmas is the original birth of Christ. So I guess those would be my favorite holidays. Not a big holiday dude. As a working man, all holidays do is usually cost you a day of work. in a tax society, in a society where we're taxed beyond means, is taking a day off sometimes is more expensive than it's worth. But yeah, it's all real. You look around and you see these people bitching and complaining, and I'm not talking about the street people, but I'm talking about the real people. They're talking about fellow rich people doing creepy shit, eating children, all that shit. That shit's real. Nope, USA. It says on the profile, USA. From USA. And yeah, they're all in on it, man. From the top to the bottom. That's why nobody's in trouble. That's why nobody gets arrested. That's why all you see is fake media. That's what you're watching every day. You're watching this little box with fake media. Most of these people are fake. They're given a script to read. They come on here every day. They read their prepaid script. They get their little check in the mail, and they tell you whatever they want to tell you. Have a good one. See you later, one. And they give you what they tell you, and that's just the way it is. And they expect you to buy it and live with it. So the reality of it is they're all in on it, and if you want the real truth about it, you have to dig it for yourself. Your opinion has to come from honest investigation, because if your opinion comes from any of the media sources that you're given pre-sold, prefabricated media. Prefabricated media might as well be lies, because they're going to tell you however they want. Here's a good example. History was written by the victors. So whoever won told the story however they wanted to tell it. They didn't come along and tell the story how the story went. They told the story how they wanted to tell it. That's how history is written. The only time it's not is when there's historical accounts from the opposite side that can contradict the stories, and then they can be compared for reality. But most history that we're given has been squashed, fabricated, lied, falsified, and changed to favor whichever government it is of the country that you live in. They fabricated the government history in every country all around the world except America, because America couldn't really fabricate their existence because the whole world was watching when it was made. 99% of the world can't tell you when their country's birthday was, except a few small countries that have happened in the last couple decades. They can't tell you when their country's birthday was because they don't know. America was founded at a specific time. So we know, and the whole world's been watching. So it's the only country that wasn't founded under prefabricated lies. But here's the truth. Once it got government, in the 30s, in the early 20s, the fabricated government snuck in and started changing it and started amending it. That's why they have amendments. And that's why they have all the things that they change. That's one opinion. That's one opinion. A lot of people think the exact opposite of that. That a lot of people think that that place is bleeding this country dry of dollars and life. It owns all the politicians. It's evil. It's perpetrated great evils in history. So that's, like I said, that's one opinion. But this government's at a turning point. It's either going to go with the lies it's been selling the people, and it's going to crumble under those lies, or it has the opportunity to straighten itself out and pull its monetary system back under its own control and stop being controlled by outside forces. Those are the only two real options. And it's more than likely going to fall because too many people believe in the guise that everything is solid, you know, and that they can fix it and that they can control it. They can't. They're burning it in the ground. They're all part of it. They're all in on it. I mean, you look at it top to bottom. We got presidents and senators and teachers and lawyers and famous musicians and actors and TV show hosts all down on the dirty island. All of them. We got facts and proof and story and theory and conspiracy of everything we've known about all these people for decades. Many famous people have spoke out and disappeared, spoke out and mysteriously died within days. So if you don't believe any of that and you don't understand that, then you're one of the people that's going to help them take over the world you live in. Take your children. The same photography company that's linked with Epstein has been taking photographs of us since way back before I went to school. All of us in the last 50 years have had your photograph taken and given to the same institution. Children from around the country, and not just our country. So they handpicked these children that they wanted to take abuse of from around the world. Don't believe it? Don't want to believe it? Too afraid to believe it? I'm sorry, the truth is ruthless. These people are evil. What they've been doing is evil, and they're all in on it. Top to bottom, there's no right and left. There's no right and left. There might be a thin gray line where there's a few people in each group that are okay, and that's it. There might be a few people in one group that are okay. There might be a few people in the other group that are okay, but collectively, they're all bad. And collectively, they're all in on it. And collectively, they would all trade us for anything. They want to live their lives. They don't care how we live our lives. They want us in the street fighting each other in poverty. They want us living with nothing. They want us hating each other while they live in ivory towers and eat caviar. So you think about that. Do you want to be the sheeple? Are you part of the problem? Or do you question? Do you seek answers? Do you push against the narrative? Are you going to take a shot again? Are you going to take another shot? How many of you are going to take another shot? That's what I want to know. Now that you know the truth. No, the truth has been exposed. It's been 100% exposed. There's no lies. They're still selling the shot at Walgreens. They're still selling the shot. They're still telling parents to give the kids the shot. How many of you would take the shot now? How many of you still believe? Are you going to put the mask back on? These are the questions I ask you, weak-minded people. Will you follow in the footsteps of your ancestors and be trampled over by tyranny? Or will you follow in your other ancestors' footsteps and fight tyranny and prevail for a better future, for a better life? And you can't just fight on the street. You have to fight everywhere. You have to fight intellectually. You have to fight emotionally. When they say stupid shit, you have to be strong enough to ignore their stupidity, because when they run out of power, they run out of energy. And the only way they get power is when you give it to them. You know? Someone that got you hating them, got you thinking about them when they're off doing whatever they're doing. I don't have time to hate anybody. When I wake up in the morning, my mind is blank of hate. The only thing I'm worried about is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. All that hate, all that blank boldness that you carried from the day before, it'll weigh you down. It'll weigh down your progress. It'll weigh down your life. Worrying about what other people are doing when you get up in the morning and the first thing you do is worry about what other people's day is going to be like. How can you get involved in their day? You're ruining your own life. When you sole mission is to save somebody else from their tyranny while putting yourself in tyranny, you're ruining your own life. And God says this. He says, if you have too much weight to carry, you give it to him and he'll carry it. If you're feeling weak, if you're feeling weary, you pray and you find, and faith will carry you on. You have to have strength, and you have to understand that there's in all of this, those that believe the most will be the most persecuted. And if you're sought by the Lord and he believes in you, then you will also be sought by the devil, and he will tempt you. Because the devil will try to tempt you to leave the Lord so that he can win, because the only battle the devil can win is hurting God's children. Understand that. I'll say that again. The only battle the devil can win is hurting God's children. If he fought God straight up, one-on-one, God would destroy the devil. So what God does instead is he destroys the children. How does he destroy the children? He's taught the youth not to believe in God so that they destroy the babies. That hurts God more than anything there is. In the Bible, he says, those that hurt the youth, those that hurt the children and bring them away and lead them to sin should have a millstone tied by their neck and driven to the deepest depths of the ocean. So that's that. Evil's evil. Truth is truth. Faith is real. And you don't have to believe it. You don't have to understand it. You don't even have to acknowledge it. The people that do will prosper. And the rest of you will just be in whatever it is that you're in. You know, you carry your depression around. You see your psychologist all the time. Nothing gets better. Share that sadness with your God. See if he doesn't make you feel better. It's worth going to a therapist for $150 every week, 4 times a month. What about getting on your knees for free and praying to God? I mean, that doesn't seem like that hard of a share. The truth is here. And the evil is here. That is real. Mankind is inherently evil. So the half of mankind that strives to be good and helpful is being weighed down by the half that's inherently evil. And it's probably not even half. It's probably like 1/3 of mankind. And that mankind are the people that you side with. That mankind are the people that you favor. The criminals, the crooks, the thieves. 25 years ago in society around the world, none of these things were odd. None of these things were unheard of. None of these things were weird. Justice, law and order, these were normal principles. These were normal principles all around the world until the last 5 to 10 years. And mostly all driven by the Western societal collapse, pushed by one specific group controlling the financial and market control of the world. And all with one direction, to sway everybody away from the one Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Sway everybody away. Bring them away. Give wave fame, wave fortune. That's what this internet does. Like I said, you don't see me on here all the time because I'm not trying to be famous. I only come on here to talk. You know, I don't read from a cue card. I don't get monetized. I don't take money. I have a real job in life. I've had the same job for 30 years. I go there every day and I do a good job. You know, you can't always involve yourself in everybody else's life. So when you do that and you think you can control everything, you're part of the problem. You know, if your coworker's having a problem with the boss, you don't need to chime in. That's their problem. That's not your problem. What's up, Vay? How you doing? What's up, Alex? What's up, Charles? How you guys doing? Well, they've been kicked out of over 170 countries. And it's not because 170 countries are mean. It's because when you try to control human beings, monetarily and emotionally from top to bottom of their life, you eventually make enemies out of those human beings. You know? So, you know, when you rewrite history, like I said, when you rewrite history, you join the victors and you rewrite history and you suppress the truth. And then you tell the truth differently to the world for the next 50 years. And the whole world sides with you thinking that you're some kind of special martyr. And they realize the truth. It's hard for them to actually believe or move on that truth. No need to believe in God that is not there. All right, well, let's put it like this, Mr. Not There. I love you guys. I love the atheist and they're not there thing. All right, let's check this out. We put too many comments in, they'll go away before I can read them all. So, Mr. Not There, it's like this. It's like if nothing came from nothing, right? Okay, you can't touch it, you can't taste it, you can't feel it, you can't see it, right? Okay, but you said the same, that's science. So then God, you can't see it, you can't taste it, you can't feel it, you don't know for sure it's there, right? But when nothing spontaneously turns into everything, that's something. And in all my life and all my years on this planet, I've never seen nothing turn into something, ever. So I'm just saying, there had to have been something that made everything, not nothing. Yes, I agree, Bay. And I agree with you, Dayton, 100%. Church, Jesus Christ Christians. Yup. We must secure the existence of our people in the future for white children. Because they're the only children being persecuted. The whole world's not trying to kill any one group of people except Christians. Been sought after in countries. You know, it's funny. People bitch. They say, "Oh, what about the Crusades?" Okay, I'll explain the Crusades because a lot of people. This is for you. This is for you, loudmouths down in front. So check this out. The Crusades came after 700 years of violence and persecution on over 14 Christian countries. 14 Christian countries were killed and taken over in violence by Muslims before the Christians launched the Crusades in, I think, like 1096. So don't get it twisted. And for those people who say, "Oh yeah, like Christianity is some white colonizer religion," no way. Because the oldest Bible in history is in Egypt, or it's in Ethiopia. That's the oldest Bible written in history that they know of, and it dates 500 years before King James, or 300 years at least. So, yeah, it's the real truth. It is the truth. It says it in there. The book says who it's for. It says what it's about. It says what the truth is, and you know, it's a hard thing to grasp for a lot of people. And I've said this before. The reason it's a hard thing to grasp for most people is because if you want to believe in God, you have to give up your sin. And most people don't want to trade their sin because they're having fun with it. And that's what the devil sells. He sells fun right now, all the sin, all the debauchery, all the sex, all the drugs, all the poison, all the lying, all the cheating, all the stealing, all the killing. He sells that for free and makes it look like it's glamorized. And people do live glamorous under it. But under the same exact token, hundreds of thousands of millions of people live under God's life and rules, and they live happily, and they live fulfilled, and they have houses and cars and riches and lives. So it's not an automatic thing that you just get to say one way or the other is proven. Maybe time is a legend because one day we'll die. Okay, so on that note, psychedelic, if that's the case, if time is an illusion and one day we die, and eternity does exist, and you have the choice in eternity to live in some kind of mental and emotional discomfort forever, your body dies in the grave and lays in the soul and torments all the right and wrongs you never dealt with in life, or in that eternity you find bliss because you found peace with your human body before you died. So, but where does that spirit go? Back into the earth? Back into nothing? If it came from nothing, does it go back to nothing? You were created in the likeness of God. When you die, you go back to God. Unless you choose not to live under God, and then you don't go back to God. Amen, Dayton. One day every knee will bow and every tongue will confess Jesus is Lord. He said he is the way and he is the light. And Jesus said clearly the only way to the Father is through him. So it's a very powerful truth. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people eyewitnessed Jesus alive after his death. Muhammad never rose from the grave. Buddha never rose from the grave. Jacob John Jinglesmith or whatever that jackass, he never rose from the grave. The Jews say they're still waiting on the Messiah. When the human beings, for 1,000 years before Jesus was to come, had written stories about the great miracles a man would come and do, and the man came and did them, and then we still denied him and killed him? And then we're here to say that he didn't come yet? He already told us the truth. He showed us the truth, clear as day, and dyed his blood so that all of us sinners could live in peace. Are you trans love? What does that mean? No, absolutely not. That's a mental health issue. There's no such thing as trans. You're either man or woman. You're either gay or not. If you're a woman and you're gay, it doesn't matter what your level of gay is, you're gay. If you're a man and you're gay, and the level of gay doesn't matter. How you dress or how you behave, that's the faction. The trans thing is just adding another thing to it. That's all satanic and demonic, trying to pretend that we're shapeshifters in some way. Sure, you add an illusion of physical sexuality and you can cross factions with your emotions and shit, but that's all bullshit. In reality, at the end of the day, a man can't be a woman no matter how much he thinks he's a woman, because they'll never have babies and they'll never be that way, no matter how much poison they take. And when you already have mental illness and you take hormones from the other species, you're going to create worse mental illness. There's no love there. There's no humanity in that. It's accepting that in people is just hurting them, because eventually down the road, they're going to suffer from the truth of that. Yeah, that's exactly it, Robin. You can, if you're prepared to go with the Lord when you die, and you atone for the things you've done wrong, Sure, we all make sins. We all fail. I used to be a troublemaker. I used to ride in an outlaw motorcycle club for years. I used to ride around and drink and fight and be all kinds of problems. One day I found the Lord, and the more I searched the Lord, the more I realized the more things I did were wrong. And the more things I changed. It's like I said, you accept the Lord, you have to give up other things. You know, I accepted the Lord. I don't drink now. I don't drink and go to bars. I don't party. I don't do any of the things that made me less of character. I don't get drunk. I don't make a fool of myself. I don't embarrass my God. I'm coherent. I'm sober. I tell the truth. I don't steal. I don't lie. I don't cheat. And if the girls I cheated on in the past, hopefully they'll forgive me because God has. And most of them have moved on and had lives, so they should be fine. But if you do all that and then you just die and there's nothing after that, you lose nothing. You lose absolutely nothing. But if you do all that and you die and there's afterlife, you gain everything. And if you lived in filthy sin, thinking that the abyss doesn't count, and there is a calling, and there is something to answer to, you lose everything worse. Imagine this. Imagine this in theory. You're laying in the grave. They're about to put the dirt on your box. God's standing there, and he's like, you coming with me? And you're like, no, God, I was down with my drugs, rock and roll, sex, abuse, violence, hate, my division of mankind, my inability to believe in you while I had all the time in the world. And so today, yeah, please take me. He's like, nah, you're good. And the option was to leave that box and go live in some blissful heaven that we can't even understand what it would be like, or to stay in that box and rot in your torment for hell forever, for eternal. You just live in that box with that dead body of yours, and you just live there, and all the cheating and stealing and lying and robbing and hurting of people, calling people names, making fun of people in the store, being rude, being puke, all those things play over and over and over aloud in your mind and your soul in that box for eternity. If you're lucky, there's nothing. See, that's a gamble. The if there's nothing, then you're lucky. If there's something, it's good and bad, and you want the good. If there's nothing, then how did everything become something? I'll fight that argument. I'll win that argument every time. You show me one time in the history of mankind, since mankind's been alive, where nothing became something. Show me. Give me a box filled with nothing, and something came from that. Then you'll be on to something. But when the world itself produces miracle after miracle after miracle, preachers touch people and heal them. People pray. Sicknesses go away. That's the truth of it. That's the reality of it. I'm just saying, I'm the Reverend, and I rant. And I hope you think positively and find joy for your life, because everybody deserves a beautiful life. Thank you, G. I represent USA. I'm from Arizona. I've lived all over the United States. I'm over 50 years old. I've lived in 5, 6, 7 states, I think, and I've traveled most of the United States. So, I've shared the views and opinions of people from the Atlantic Ocean all the way to Pacific Ocean, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Virginia, Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, you know. So, and, it's just a matter of using your mind and living in your heart. If you know you're right and you're doing the right thing, things will go well for you. If you're doing wrong and you're living wrong and you're wondering why things are always difficult for you, maybe you take a look at that. So I love you all. I thank you all. I pray for you all. I wish you all the best. Be blessed. Be safe. We'll catch you again soon. Revrad Rants. I'll catch you later. Peace and love.